morning. Welcome to Newsmakers 1490 WDAN. Linda Bolton in the studio this morning, and congratulations to Danville Area Community College Jaguars for winning an exciting game last night, and we wish them well as they take on another opponent and continue their way through the tournament, we hope, all the way to the championship game. But great job, and thanks to the community for supporting them so well. Full house, that's a good thing. That's a good thing for not only the team, but it's a great thing for the tournament itself and for its success for so many years now. So congratulations to everyone. So this morning, one of our unusual characters is with us again. one of our resident artistes, Jake Aurelian, is here, and we always enjoy when Jake comes on. He's well known in the area for his performances as the clown, right?
Yes, Ripper the Clown.
The Ripper the Clown, and for his comedy stuff. But he's also taken on videography and filmmaking, and so we had him here when he was. See, that was
back in December.
December, yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Which was a very busy time. He had a screening night down at
Vintage Villains.
Vintage Villains, and there was a bunch of stuff going on. We couldn't come because we were out at Sleepy Creek for the Murder Mystery Theater that Lauren House was in. So we committed to that, but you still had wall-to-wall people.
It was great. It was fantastic.
And understand, this is a film called
The Stripper Ripper.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about what a phenomenal outpouring of support he got for the production. And also with us, as has been here before, Albert King, who is the cinematographer. You like that?
Yeah, that sounds kind of fun.
I think that sounds great, yeah. And Shawn Hosseini?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, I got it?
Yeah.
Okay, well I'll screw it up the next time.
Okay.
Who's also involved in this. This is kind of Jake's crew. So let's start out with Stripper Ripper and what the heck it is and where it came from and what you created.
It started as a short film, and I had the idea to do a parody of horror movies. And so that kind of set up doing typical horror movie scenes, like, you know, girls running in the woods, that type of thing.
All the stuff
all
we
the standard
see,
things that you see in every horror movie.
Yeah.
And as I was writing the script, it just kind of started getting bigger and evolving, and it turned into something that turned into a feature film, an hour and 23 minutes long. And so we did our first screening at Villains, as you mentioned, back in December, and it went really well. And
you were packed, right? You had
yes, it was, and the reaction was fantastic.
So let's talk about that for a minute, because we were just chatting before we came into the studio about the fact that I think sometimes our local arts folks underestimate the sophistication of some of the folks here in Vermilion County and how often they go other places to see unusual or off-the-wall stuff. And I think this is a classic example of that, because quite frankly, from a marketing perspective, you tell me you want me to market a film called Stripper Ripper, shot in Vermilion County to show in Vermilion County, and I'm going to look at you like, what? You want me to what? But it's an indication that we have a much more sophisticated community here than a lot of people expect, and they're interested in edgy, unusual things.
And my work's always been edgy. In the books, the stand-up comedy, it's always been edgy. But the film, I have to say straight off the bat, it's family friendly. We have kids in the film. Sean's boys are in the film. Sarah Woodard's little girl Olive is in the film, and Connor Staggs is in the film. So we had a lot of kids at the screening, and they loved it. And I heard from one mother, she sent me an email that I believe her son's 6, that he'd done nothing but talk about the film after seeing it, and he had to watch it on DVD every night after school. Oh, so cool. That makes me feel so good.
Yeah,
that,
it does.
Yeah.
But again, with that title, it's a misnomer in terms of what it is. Choosing to use that as your title kind of puts you in this kind of Twilight Zone of what the heck is this?
All of my work always has, I want all of my books to have an edgy title. People will remember it. It stands out. And the same with the film. And, the name of the film originates actually The film spoofs like Halloween, the original Halloween, The Town of the Dreaded Sundown, and the Kolchak Night Stalker TV show. And the opening scene in the film spoofs the Kolchak Ripper episode insofar as to title the main character in my film, the stripper Ripper. That's where that came from. So the name of the film, I guess, has its origins back from a 1974 TV show.
Yeah. Well, and again, and that's really why they're here, is because they had such an outpouring of interest and enthusiasm from the first showing. You're going to have another one, and we're going to talk about that. That's coming up soon, right?
Yes, it's this Saturday, March 24th, downtown at Village Villains. Yes, it is.
So Albert, tell me what this was like to shoot this, because shooting anything is a challenge, because you have to understand what the director's vision is.
Right.
So there you're already behind the eight ball on that one, to kind of make sure you understand what they want to convey. And then to figure out how to do that, and do it on a limited budget. It's not like you had a gazillion dollars worth of equipment. So.
No, our budget was basically zero.
Yeah, there you go. I know those budgets. I work in public health, I know.
But filming it wasn't, it was a lot of work. A lot of the hot days, getting everything, make sure we had all the equipment. But following Jake's direction was easy. We get along really well. I could actually see his vision, and that helped us to camaraderate together and be able to get the shot we want. And most of the shots we got were done in the first take.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we had pretty good luck. I think we only had to do 2 retakes of the pie shots. Like,
Yeah.
If you're going to have to do anything again, it would have to be a pie shot,
Yes.
wouldn't it? Yeah, absolutely.
But definitely fun to do.
Yeah. And challenging, I would think, because it's not just shooting it, it's also putting it together so that it makes sense and goes with what you want.
yes.
Right.
Yes.
But
And-
that's more the editing part.
Yeah, the editing part is...
Yeah, I probably spent over 100 hours editing.
Yeah, I was just
going
to say, that doesn't surprise me, because no matter how well you shoot it, you still have to put it together.
Yes,
So
yes.
it makes sense. And so, Shawn, what did you do? Did you just hang around?
No, I played a part.
You played one of the leads.
Bray.
Yeah.
I played the detective.
The Dr. Pleasance.
Dr. Pleasance.
Yes, which is a spoof on the Dr. Loomis role in Halloween.
Okay. Yeah. So, did you have fun with it? I mean, was it a good time to do? I'm sure it was hard work, but still.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We even put him in drag once.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
All right, then. You hit the ultimate in your career.
Yep.
Very good, very good. So, Jake, again, let's go back to the heart of how this came to be. I mean, it's a kind of well, I'm getting close to time to go to break, so I guess I don't want to get too... So I'll just make a long question, and then you can answer when we come back. That's how it usually works. I can fake my way through. So. But, I mean, concept to screen, that's a long journey.
Yes.
And so you had plenty of time to think about how you wanted it to look and what you wanted it to say and what you wanted it to be. And as you said, as you wrote it, it grew. So how, let's talk when we come back. Let's talk a little bit about how that original concept happened.
Okay.
And then how that process grew as you wrote it to create this 120-minute film.
Okay.
So we'll do that in just a moment on Newsmakers 1490 WDAN. WDAN, Linda Bolton in the studio this morning. With me today is Jake Aurelian, who has been here several times. Jake is known within the area for his performance art, and he has done a film with the help of the gentlemen that are with him, Shawn Hosseini and Albert King. And that debuted actually last December at Vintage Villains and had a packed house. So don't tell me we don't know about art in Vermilion County. By golly, we do. And it can be edgy and it can be different, and it can be done. So he's going to have another screening coming up this Saturday. We're going to talk more about that. So you'll know where it is, when it is, and what else going on with it. But it's an interesting concept. It's called the Stripper Ripper.
Yes.
We should keep trying to flip those and come out Ripper Stripper. That's just wrong. So that's my mind. But anyway, so you talked a little bit earlier about how as you began the process of putting it together and writing it, that it kind of kept growing and growing and
Yes.
growing. So let's talk about where the original seeds came from, how this whole thing started.
About 2 years ago, I had some loose talks with a local TV network about doing a Saturday night show. And I had worked on a pilot for them, and I kind of just walked away from it after a while. But that said, one of the ideas I had for an episode, should the TV show occur, which one of the ideas was to have a horror movie spoof. And so I just had a couple loose ideas in my mind, and it was probably about January of 2017 where the idea just popped back into my mind. And I was like, I should really do that. That should be the next project. So that's when we started working on it. We started filming it in February of 2017.
Yeah.
And then we started religiously filming in, I think, April or May. And then we filmed through late September, and it was done and ready for October.
And it's all shot here in Vermilion
Yes,
County, right?
yes, in approximately 20 locations. A lot of different businesses allowed us to come in and film. That was really great to involve local businesses. We have over 40 players from the community involved. Just really amazing. And the first screening went fantastic. I mean, they laughed over jokes. They laughed the whole time. It was amazing.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
I think it was a defining moment for me, and I think a validating moment for all of us that we were working on something that people enjoyed.
Oh yeah, because you had to question, I'm sure,
Yeah.
as you went.
Oh yes, I did.
Because you had to have been sitting there going, I
Well-
don't know, this could be really.
Well, I've heard that people like my books. I've read Amazon reviews that are positive. I've had people come up to me and say, hey, I love that video I saw on YouTube on your channel. And, of doing stand-up comedy, you get reactions from the crowd, but that's in a 5-minute skit, 5-minute set on stage. So I've had all those compliments about my work, but I didn't know if the work would hold an audience for an hour and 23 minutes. That's kind of a long.
It is.
That's jumping from a 5-minute live video or a comedy set or whatever, even maybe a little longer video to a feature-length film pretty quick. So I was really nervous at that screening, and I think the guys here can attest that I was pretty nervous.
That was the most I've ever seen you nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
But they started laughing right off the bat, and the reaction at the end, and you can go to watch the trailer. It's on Facebook, the Stripper Ripper trailer, and I pieced in the audience reaction at the end from the premiere, and it was momentarily deafening. It was like
cool.
it was like being at a WWE show, and it was just amazing to me. Like, it made me teary.
I would assume part of it has to do with using the spoof of Halloween stuff that we've all grown up
Yes.
with. Scary Halloween stuff.
Yeah.
And you know the scenes, you know
Yeah.
what's coming, you know once they say the line, you go, you're gonna die. That's not good. I mean, so people
Yeah.
get into that stuff
Yeah.
and they really enjoy it. So it's a great thing that people can easily relate to, and that's,
Yeah.
I'm sure, where some of that came from.
Oh, yeah.
And certainly where some of their enjoyment and the humor of it.
Yeah, I agree. And not only that, but you brought up a good point. All those scenes were relatable. We also spoofed, movies like Batman, Ghostbusters, Run Little Run, so many, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, so many films that people can relate to. But even if they were, I think, unaware of the film or where the reference came from, they still enjoyed it, which was really good because it told me that it was portrayed in a way that was enjoyable to people who knew it or didn't know it. And not only that, but just the aspect of the film is that, in the scenes, as you mentioned, the person's going to get killed. In my film, they don't get killed. They get hit with a pie.
Yeah.
So it's a Three Stooges,
Which is even better, actually.
bozo
Yeah.
show, slapstick kind of reaction. And it was a testament to me that clean comedy is still funny. Because, again, they laugh the entire time. And, you could watch any Hollywood film or any network TV show, and it's going to be probably raunchy to some degree. And this film is family-friendly. And, again, a testament to the fact that people still enjoy and will react well to clean comedy.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, and certainly relate to the genre of horror films.
Yes.
And all of that, because everybody goes to them, everybody enjoys them, everybody goes to them, I think, sometimes not to be scared, but just to see what kind of shtick they've
Yeah.
come up with this time,
Yeah.
and go, yep, there she is.
Yeah.
She's going to make the same, she's going to open the same stupid door,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
whatever it is. So
We try to incorporate a lot of that,
Yeah,
the dropping
yeah.
of the keys and the girls running to the car and the girl in the hallway all alone and that type of thing. That the standard horror scenes just with a comedy twist at the end.
So, Albert, how challenging was it to shoot this in local businesses, in the local community, people wandering around, wondering what the heck you're doing. I mean, you know, because if you got a shot, you got to have it a certain way, I would assume. So how challenging was that?
There were some people who were kind of curious on what we were doing and looked at us funny.
Yeah.
They kind of felt a little bit out of place, but it was obvious we were shooting a scene. And challenging. As far as getting the businesses and so forth, Jake really set those up. I didn't do much there. I was just more interested in, can we get the shot that he
Setting up
wants.
setting up the shot he wanted. Yeah, absolutely. So, Shawn, how tight was the script? I mean, were you a little loosey-goosey on what all you did, or did he have word for word exactly what you're supposed to say, or what? How'd that work?
Yeah, he pretty much word for word.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of it's verbatim.
Okay.
And, you know, occasionally we'd have room for ad lib or whatever.
Yeah. The thing I like about working with these guys is that, and all the crew that we worked with, was that I'm open to people throwing out ideas. I mean, you threw out, Shawn threw out ideas. He's at some point he's like, "Can I do this voice?" I'm like, "Why not?" You know. Yeah. And so it's really fun to work with creative people who also want to throw in ideas, and when something works, we go with it.
Absolutely. Eric, why don't we go ahead and go to break, and then we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about what's going to happen Saturday night. So we'll do that in just a moment on Newsmakers 1490 WDAN. Welcome back to Newsmakers 1490 WDAN. Linda Bolton in the studio this morning. Joining me today is one of our local artists, Jake Aurelian, who has done a lot of things in the community. He's been around doing his clown routine and a comedian. But he has also created a film called The Stripper Ripper.
Yes.
See, I almost did it again. I almost said Ripper Stripper. I don't know. People are so fun. You never know what we're going to say. But Stripper Ripper, and it debuted in December at Vintage Villains and had a standing room only crowd. So Jake is here, and also Shawn Hosseini, who was in the film, and Albert King, who actually shot the film.
Yep.
So
and Albert, he has a little scene in the film as well. He does ventriloquism, and he has
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
My little buddy Nye.
Yeah.
Okay. I bet that's a...
He's one of the false confessors to the, because there are a lot of elements of true crime in the film too, portrayed in a comical
Horror and
way.
true crime. It doesn't get any better than that, does it?
You know, like fake, false confessors and people faking that they got hit by a pie for the attention, and then copycat pie attacks. So I try to integrate a lot of our pop culture into the film.
Yes,
in that regard.
So again, when does it show?
It shows March 24th, this Saturday at Vintage Villains. The doors open at 7, and the movie will start around 8 o'clock. And it's free. I think we'll have like a little donation bin out, but it's a free show.
Okay.
And it's family friendly. I have to stress that.
Yeah, let's go back to that, because when you hear the title Stripper Ripper, you might have other visions, but this is actually a family friendly film that features kids.
Yeah.
And kids came to the debut in December and really enjoyed it.
Yes.
Again, this is a horror movie on comedy legs.
Yes, it is.
And nobody really dies; they just get hit by pies, which is even funnier in many cases. And so it's an opportunity to support a local artist, an opportunity to come and enjoy something and see a film that was shot right here with local references and local businesses and local people. So it's a really cool thing. So where do you go from here? I realize this kind of was an offshoot of your clown shtick and all that stuff. Okay, I've now used shtick twice in one show. I don't think that's right. I think I have to only use it once a show. but it fit.
Yeah.
But I mean, you started with that, and you kind of this was a natural evolution from that.
Yes, well, a lot of my work is offshoots of other work. The books, it started with the books, and the clown came from the books, and then it went to stand-up comedy, and then it went to doing videos based on my books, and then it went into, books about the clown, the zombie novel, and the time travel and the alien abduction comedy books, and then that spawned into more videos and now the film. So I like how the train has gone, so to speak.
Yes,
where,
but
where
is it
everything
going to
spawns.
continue down those tracks,
Oh.
or is it going to find a new set of tracks?
Yes,
is what I'm trying to find out.
it's definitely going to continue on those tracks. We've already started working on the sequel.
Oh, really?
And I've been getting emails from people who hadn't even seen the original film who want to be in the sequel. So
Everybody wants to be in the movie.
so that's really cool for me when I get emails like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And so we filmed a scene for the sequel that I wanted to film for the original that we didn't have an opportunity for, and I didn't know kind of where we would put this, but I just wanted to get it shot. And once I filmed it, I kind of realized, okay, this is going to be the opening scene of the sequel. It makes sense for that too.
Do you worry about beating the drum too many times, or what?
No, because this one is going to have a different twist to it.
Okay. Okay.
And this one, so I always like to redefine my work, and I like doing that. I think it's important to always keep your work fresh. So and I think I see a lot of comedians not doing that, and I think that you should continually progress and evolve with your work. So this one will start off kind of the same, but it's going to evolve, and I like the idea that I have thus far.
So what about accessing the movie? You've had the showing in December. You're going to have one Saturday. But if people, can they buy it?
We'll have DVDs.
What, or is it up online, or
No,
what's it?
I was going to put it online. Then that was the goal. I was going to do one screening, and I was going to put it online. And then I saw the reaction at the screening. It was probably halfway
that
through,
makes
and I was like,
sense.
I can't put it
Yeah.
online. I want people to be able
Yeah.
to come and see it. And we have it on DVD, so I guess people can buy it and take it home and watch it. But I wanted to encourage people to come to the screenings because it was such a great reaction that it was something that I wanted to keep going.
Well, isn't that part of the horror movie genre too? I mean, you go to a horror movie to be scared and laugh
Yeah.
a lot of the time, but it's that shared experience
Yes,
too, to
exactly.
some extent. That if you're the only one in the room screaming,
Yeah.
But if everybody's screaming or everybody's laughing, the feeling is a little bit stronger.
Yeah, it was. It was that the atmosphere at the premiere was just absolutely amazing, and the people coming up to me during the film, after the film, it made me feel so good that people enjoyed my work so much.
How big a venue is that? I mean, how much do people have to worry about getting there early? Or
You know what? I would suggest getting there early because there will be limited seating.
okay.
And so the doors open at 7. I would suggest that you get there pretty close to 7. I mean, you could bring an extra seat if you want, like a little lawn chair or something, in case all the seats are gone. But I would definitely suggest getting there early.
Okay. And again, you're not charging for it.
No.
You're certainly open arms to any donations
Yeah.
people would like to provide.
Well, we did it at the first one, just to kind of help the venue out for putting on the show, and we did well with that. So
Good,
we'll be doing
good.
the same thing this time.
Well, we look forward to seeing what you've got.
Yeah, you should
tucked
come.
away. If I can, I will be there. We look forward to seeing what you put together for the next one and how you continue to grow this. Because, like I said, that's tough to do.
Yeah.
When you're going down those tracks, sometimes it can be too much. So if you've got new ideas to bring some new life into it, good deal.
Yeah.
So we wish you the best. Again,
Thank you.
Saturday night, March 24th,
Yes.
7 o'clock doors open at Vintage Village,
Yes.
which is in downtown Danville.
Downtown Danville?
And you won't have any trouble finding it because there'll be wall-to-wall cars.
Yes.
Everybody will be parked so they can get in there. So get there early so you can get a seat.
And real quick, Woodard's Computing Services is our sponsor. I want to thank them for
Oh,
supporting.
thank you,
Yes.
Richard.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, good deal. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Look forward to talking to you again. Hey, join me tomorrow. Pastor Randy Robinson from St. James United Methodist Church will be here, along with Ron Surfoss. And the three of us will be chatting about the massive renovation we've been doing at the church, and it seems like it's going on forever and is nearing completion. So we will share a lot of cool information with you. So join us tomorrow on Newsmakers 1490 WDAN. I'm Linda Bolton.